Welcome to episode 16 of One Question, where we explore the elephant in the room connected to the work we bring to the world. These are conversations about the misperceptions people have about our work, sometimes from the conversations we have in our own head, what we've been taught, or societal norms. Today, we turn the tables to round out the season one, and I get to interview the creator of One Question, Stephanie McAuliffe. She's an energy alchemist and boundary strategist, also founder of the Way of the Diamond Warrior, and she guides leaders to build a business that's a reflection of their soul. Stephanie is also a contributing author to the Amazon #1 bestseller, Confident You, Raw Conversations. And today I'm your host, Shelley Martinez, an anxiety expert who helps people transform perfectionism into excellence and shift their anxiety into a superpower. Welcome, Stephanie. I am so excited to be here with you today.
Thank you, Shelley. I'm so excited because you began something with me that has become, we're now episode 16. So I'm excited to see where this conversation goes today because, yeah.
Oh, so am I. I mean, this was just such an interesting question that you came up with. And when you posed it to me originally, it was one I'd never thought of. What's the elephant in the room? What's the thing we're not talking about? So why don't you kick off by telling us a bit more about the work you do, and we'll get to your elephant.
Energy healing is at the core and the foundation of everything that I do because we internalize things we don't even realize. Seeing Kitty wanted to come into the conversation.
We have to invite our feline friends.
I actually just
And
had a call, and we worked with her 8 and 10-year-old self and reintegrated aspects that had gone away because this is what happens when we experience trauma. It's almost like a part of ourselves splinters off in order to keep us safe.
Oh, I think it's absolutely what happens.
And so energy healing is, and we have layers. So energy healing is at the foundation of what I do, and yet a lot of the work is also very practical. What are our values? What used to drive us? What drives us now? It's a mixture of the practical and the mystical.
Mm-hmm.
Because energy healing without awareness or awareness without energy healing leaves an incomplete puzzle.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can only get so far. It's like a car with only 2 tires inflated.
Right? It's kind of like driving a car with the right front and the left rear, and then you're trying to balance. And sometimes we do just want energy healing. I want to go to a sound healing, a sound bath, and that's great. But when I don't know what it is that I'm healing, I am destined to repeat the patterns that I'm not aware of.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes. And we just keep in that endless hamster wheel of repeating and repeating until we've got some foundation, some basis. I love that about your work.
Yeah, thank you.
That you really go deep to the roots.
Very deep.
Yeah.
I used to call myself.
We're both reflecting for a moment. Very deep. Yeah.
I originally called myself a personal archaeologist. And I remember my first coach telling me, "You're not digging up bones." Well, yeah, in a way we kind of are. And yet there's layers.
Yes. Always layers.
Mm-hmm.
They're like these endless onions. But there's so much goodness there. I don't mean that to sound, like foreboding. I think it's so exciting to heal and recover those parts of ourselves that have splintered off, as you said.
It is.
Because we're so much more present for joy and moving forward and making things happen.
It is because we wouldn't get to that deeper layer without. So it's like we're going deeper, and yet we're rising up at the same time. Because
Yes.
my energy can't be lighter without letting go of the heavy load.
Absolutely. But what are people not talking about? What's the elephant here? And there's so many. Which one do you want to pick right now? Do you want to expand on some of these?
The first thing that's coming through is patterns.
Okay.
And we will
Yeah, tell me
repeat
more.
patterns that we don't even realize because some of it comes through the DNA. And you think we're in the birth womb for 7, 8, 9 months, 10 months, and we are picking up the energy of our birth mother. And yet there's also studies that they're looking at how anxiety is passed through the sperm of war veterans. So it's not just all about mom. First of all, so that's
No,
one
no.
big bite.
Yeah, let's get that out there. Yeah. It's not all her fault.
No, it's not. And many times it's not even her fault because she has absorbed energy. So if you
Of
were
course.
to, draw out your family tree and put adjectives next to each person, I find it's very illuminating because you can see the patterns of anger or alcoholism or depression or sadness or defensiveness is a big one. And so I
Yes.
think the elephant is people don't look enough at their generational patterns. And when we look at it, it can be, oh, that's where that came from. That's
Ah,
digging a little bit for the bones because there are times where, well, first of all, we've been taught to just swipe left on our emotions. But then sometimes we don't know where something comes from. So when we're brave enough to do a little bit of digging, we can see of like, oh, that's where that came from. I didn't do anything wrong. These are energies that I picked up,
yeah.
and now I can clear them. And that is a huge elephant.
Oh, absolutely. And what I hear you saying that's so valuable, I want to reiterate that it really, when we see the forest instead of just the trees, like
Mhm.
with your work, which allows us to do that, we're really able to set aside then the guilt, the shame, the blame, so that we can actually heal.
Yes, to not be afraid to ask questions. I was able to ask questions with my mother about my early years.
Mm.
And it was like dotting the I, crossing the T, and putting the cherry on top of the sundae because it was like, oh,
Yeah,
that's where this comes from. And we get to be curious without pointing a finger, like you said, pointing blame or judgment, because it just is.
exactly. And it, you know, is not really, it's our work to heal, but in my opinion, but it's not really, as you said, it's not everyone's fault.
Right.
And I think sometimes we get in blame and forget, that regardless of how we got here, it's our life. So are we going to heal or are we going to keep perpetuating those patterns?
Yeah. And I think there's two things underlying this. First of all, the facts and data people are always looking for a reason. Well, sometimes there isn't a logical reason. And the other thing, and I talk about this, is New Age, which was just everything is rainbows and butterflies, and I'm gonna wear white flowy dresses, and just pretend everything's, don't worry, be happy. And it's taught us on a spiritual level to not honor and have reverence for ourselves and for our own journey. Again, to just swipe left.
Yeah,
And I think we're coming back to really there's some people that will always be tied to facts and data. Bless them. That's their journey. And yet
mhm,
for people who really want to get curious, like the healing journey isn't always easy, and yet it doesn't have to be this dark rabbit hole that we crawl into. It
absolutely.
can be very empowering.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I love how you recognize that kind of the mystical, I think was the word you use, really also is very practical when you apply it through this lens you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
That, and it's not this, giant sucking hole that goes on forever. It's, I think that some of the swipe left
Mm-hmm.
is people have come to be so afraid of their feelings and their experiences if they're not rainbows and sunshine and white light and unicorns and whatever. And that fear just snowballs. And we get more and more afraid and more distance from our experience, and we can't heal what we can't even see.
Absolutely. And not to say that I wasn't also in this place. When I left my
Oh,
career on Wall Street 10 years ago, it's like I felt things, but I could tell you how I felt based on something else. I couldn't tell you how I wanted to feel. So opening ourselves up to really those deeper layers within ourselves is so powerful and so transformative. And to stop, it's not just swiping left on the BS of the outside world, it's to stop swiping left on ourselves.
I love that. Yes. Stop swiping left on ourselves in case someone missed that. That's
Mm-hmm.
powerful. Yes. And isn't that where the real bones are?
And it's juicy and it's fun and it's hard and it's powerful and it's all of the things. If you wanted to call it all of the colors of the rainbow, it is the moon and the sun and the earth and everything, because it isn't all easy. And yet we can come to this space of peace, even with all of the things that have happened.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I love that John Kabat-Zinn book. I love the title of it so much, the one that's called Full Catastrophe Living, because when I saw that, I instantly went, oh, this guy must really understand me in my life, because that just hit me like right in the gut. Like, yes,
Yeah.
someone finally talking about, yeah, it's wonderful and great and amazing and it's intense and it's messy and it's okay.
It is okay,
Yeah.
because our higher self and spirit, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, or all of the above, we came into this life with life lessons and to heal certain things. And through our free will, we get to see something as a catastrophe,
Mhm.
or we get to use it to empower ourselves to step into, as we go deeper, we step into a higher aspect of ourselves.
Yeah,
And
no,
we don't,
absolutely.
yeah, and we don't get here without going here.
Oh, no, absolutely. You gotta
Yeah,
you gotta hang out in the mud a little and do some of that work and get through it. Otherwise, I can't imagine how you could do that healing work without it,
yeah.
honestly.
And you see it through the work that you do with anxiety,
Hmm.
and it can be a superpower.
Oh, absolutely. And really, the superpower is about it's embracing that catastrophe, that anxiety, that pattern, and embracing it so that we can heal and move past it and use the wisdom. Like you're talking about these dynamics that are generational. What's the wisdom? What's the wisdom? What's the lesson? What's the power in that? Because everything has a flip side.
It absolutely does. And the beautiful thing is when we heal, we actually heal the energies for the generations before and after us.
Yes. Yes, I believe that so much. And that's why the work you're doing is so critical on so many levels, not just for the individual, but for the whole world. I mean, not to get
Humanity.
too grandiose, but really, I do
Yeah,
believe that one person changing heals the rest of the world. I don't know how you feel about it, but I
absolutely.
do feel like it's cumulative, like the Grand Canyon was carved by little drops of water.
I've never heard that before. I love that.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, because I do a lot of work with earth healing as well, and healing the land and healing the energies that people leave.
Oh, tell me more about that. I'm
Oh,
sure we
that
all want to know.
it's something that started when I wanted to sell my house in New Jersey.
Hmm.
And I found a land and portal clearing process that I started to do. And now when I'm out hiking, I was in Colorado Springs over the weekend, and I was in a certain space and I hear the invitation to come in to invoke this healing. And it's something that needs to be initiated by us humans, but then we
Mhm.
invite in the elements and the elementals to assist and to lift up the energies of, and it will come through. It might be anger, it might be sadness, it might be despair. Sometimes it's done at sacred spots as well.
Mhm.
And to always fill all those spaces with healing light. And then it's like the elementals get to come in and have a party.
Wow. Boy, that's something no one's talking about. I don't think I've ever heard anyone talk about this.
It's pretty cool. And I'm actually in the process of working on a big project that'll be done in about a month. And I'm not going to
Oh.
right now, but it's
Stay
I'm
tuned,
working,
folks.
right. I'm working, and it might even be a book. I'm working on it with another healer that I work with, bringing the masculine and the feminine together. And so there's many layers to this, and it's an honor to be able to do this work with and for
Mhm.
people and the earth and the elements.
So the healing work that you do goes so deeply, is so profound.
Thank you.
Yeah. I want, you know, to allow you to guide some. I've been kind of diving into where I'm curious and what I'm doing. Is there something that's coming up for you that you want to talk about as well right now? You're sharing so much gold with us.
Well, I think sometimes we don't really know what's blocking us,
Mm,
and we
mhm.
need help and insight. And actually, the gift that I'm offering is a "What's Stopping You" assessment. And there'll be
Oh,
a link
yeah.
below. It's 5 questions, and you get to assess where you are in each of those life areas. And then you get a very detailed report that gives you some insight into where you are and then things you can do to move forward. Because that's why I work with a healer. I sometimes can't see past the end of my own nose.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to the
Right?
human experience.
And
Yeah.
even Steve Jobs says everybody needs a coach. So,
Yeah.
depending on where we are and what we're working with, and so the What's Stopping You assessment is something that is available for free. It's up on my website. Um, and then there's some follow-up emails that go a little bit deeper into each of the areas
Yeah.
because this is about honoring ourselves and going back to no longer swiping left on ourselves and on our own journey and really on our own divinity.
And what a genius that you've distilled it into 5 questions to get us started as the kind of jumping off point, because I know that, some people listening to this work may be a little overwhelmed by some of the breadth and depth of it. And I love how you approach not just this gift to us, but your whole work in this very kind of step by step,
Mhm.
doable, non-threatening way. I've known you a long time, and I always appreciate that about you. That you're very practical, but very kind and focused, and you know how to help people move from A to B.
Thank you. It's every journey begins with one step.
Mhm.
And actually, the magic is in the journey, not in the destination.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Because I think, yeah, I agree with you on that. I feel like we just keep, if we do the work and have the tools and resources, then we just can keep blooming and growing like big rose bushes.
Yeah. There's no
A
time
rose
limit.
bushes doesn't ever go, oh, I'm good enough now, thanks.
Right.
You know,
Nature doesn't question itself.
no, it just does. It just
Right.
keeps going and going. That's,
Yeah.
not it does question, it just does what it does by definition of what it really is.
Hmm.
And you're helping people to discover that for themselves.
I love this work. And when there's breakthroughs and the freedom of no longer carrying the old energies, it's such an honor.
Oh my gosh, this is such a great conversation. I love this. Is there anything else you want to recap or leave our listeners with today? This has been amazing. And if you guys don't know Stephanie's work, find out more. You are going to be blown away, I promise.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. I think it's trust yourself to honor yourself to do the work. And sometimes if you don't know which way to go, one of the things I used to do before I went to sleep is I would ask Spirit to guide me. What would you like me to look at next? Because it's like the facts and data people and the science people, it's not all about logic. And invariably, I would receive a message in the middle of the night or have a dream that I got to journal on. Spirit always answered when I honestly asked for guidance.
It's just waiting there for us, isn't it?
It really is. All we have to do is ask.
Absolutely. Well, this has been such a good conversation. I am so excited to have gotten to talk to you and wrap up your first season. Congratulations on that. I'm looking forward to so many more conversations
Thank you.
because, I mean, the work that you're bringing yourself and the other people that you're bringing on to share their work, their thought leadership has just been amazing this season. I can't wait for next season.
Thank you. We're going to see what comes through. I'm not quite sure. It might shift a little bit. And being able
Oh,
to,
yeah. I mean, season in a very general way. You said you've got something cooking next month, and I know you. Whatever's coming next is going to be dynamic and amazing.
Thank you.
And I know that sounds like too much hyperbole, but really, guys, I mean, if you've been listening to these conversations at all, you know what I'm talking about. I'm preaching to the choir here, but yeah,
It's been so
just
much
so
fun
excited.
to interview most of the other co-authors, 15 of you. And
Yeah.
thank you so much for helping me round out this season. We began it and ended it together.
Yes.
And I love
Yes,
your
we were
work.
just playing around the first time.
And I love our conversations, the many that we've had.
I
Thank you.